thank you for inviting us into your home.
Yes, that's all right.
But just for our viewers, tell us where exactly we are at the moment.
Well, we're in my house in Como. Where I live with Tony and Anne and Judith and Niall. Como's a suburb of Perth. And it's quite posh. It's a little bit near the zoo. So if you like animals, you could pop along there and entertain yourself with monkeys and whatnot. We can sometimes hear them early in the morning. What's she doing there?
How would you describe this residence?
This residence?
Yes.
Well, it's a lovely home, isn't it? It's a lovely home that we're furnished with, furniture and things and bits and pieces over the years. And mostly I've done it, but you've chipped in a bit, haven't you? Yes.
I'd call it brown.
Right.
This residence. I call it brown.
It's very brown.
How would you describe your own personal approach to decor?
Practical.
Right.
Yes, I mean, we've got, for example, up here we've got a spice rack.
Right, that's very...
It's a wheel of spices. I've never used it.
Now, I notice a very modern stereogram around the corner there. What sort of music would we hear ringing out in the Lucy household of a weekend?
Neil Diamond.
Always Neil Diamond.
Right.
Very loud.
I
hate him.
I have a vast interest in music.
No, you don't.
So I listen to all of Neil Diamond's albums.
I notice you've invested in one of these new colour televisions. How are you enjoying that?
Yes, that's very nice, isn't it?
Yes.
It's nice to see, the two Ronnies. You know,
Right.
you can see the colour of their ties and so on like that. It's lovely.
And would the entire Lucy family gather around the television of an evening?
Oh, yes, every evening.
Right.
After school and right and up until bedtime. Yes, it's wonderful. And all weekend too.
Why would you go to the cinema? Why would you?
What a lot of
Too
expense.
many other people and too expensive and too
Dreadful
loud.
ideas.
Right.
They don't serve alcohol.
We did pass a cinema that was showing Earthquake.
Earthquake?
Yes.
And you didn't feel the urge to pop inside?
No, we just drove by.
Is this a household full of joy and laughter?
Yes, within reason, Tony, you know, we have the odd giggle.
Right.
My husband's very amusing.
But I'm always
private jokes.
joking around with Judith and the neighbours and people at work. And
Could you give us an
It's quite the
example
thing, don't you?
of a practical joke? Tony?
yes. Well, in this in that you would expect to find butter in that.
Yes.
But what I've done
Surely that's butter, right?
no, it's actually cheese.
It's true, he just carved it to look
I
like butter.
carved it to make it look like
Yes.
butter, but it's actually cheese.
Right, okay.
Yes,
okay.
yes. 'Cause
I don't understand what's funny about that.
fuck off. In Perth, it gets very hot, so it's easier to just serve cheese.
And how are relations presently between you and your husband?
Well, they're very good, Tony. They've always been very good between Tony and I.
Right.
I mean, we get along very well.
Fuck you.
Oh, fuck you with your Dublin education.
Oh,
I think you're so clever. Where's your family
I
money
don't
now?
think.
He's from Dublin and come from quite a wealthy family, actually. Tony did. And then the family lost all their money. I don't know how. Someone corrupt and lost it all and gambled and ran off or something.
We like to do many things, many things together. We eat together and we go to mass.
Right.
We don't
Together.
all eat the same things.
What?
We don't all eat the same things, but we like to eat around the same time.
What relevance is that?
I'm just saying he wants to know some details of our family life. I'm just saying we don't all
Well, how
do
would that
everything
be
the same.
interesting to anyone, the fact that we eat different things?
You look interested, don't you? You are interested.
He's
See,
paid to look interested. He's asking the questions.
Oh, fuck off.
Fuck you. Drop dead.
Marital relations between you and your husband, what sort of footing are they on at the
Well,
moment?
I don't know if that's much of your business, Tony. That's quite a private matter, you know. But, well, everything's as it should be, I believe. I don't know what goes on in other people's lives, but I don't expect it's much. We love Dave Allen. We always watch that together.
Right.
Yes.
I love Dave Allen. He's a genius.
We all agree on Dave Allen.
The
He's
thing,
a genius.
the thing that he does with his,
He's got a finger missing,
I'm
hasn't he?
talking his little cut-off finger. It's very funny. I don't know. I don't know whether he did that on purpose, but it's very funny how he.
Why would he do it on purpose?
For the comedy.
Why would he remove his own thing? He's funny enough as it is. Gosh, you talk rot, Tony.
Would you describe this as a class-conscious neighbourhood?
I don't know about that. I don't really know the neighbours. I've never spoken to them. We don't like them. That's something we're quite unified on. They're trouble. Yes, I don't like them at all. That one next door, she's always peering over, looking in our window.
She's peering over right now.
Yes, she is too. Look at
Fuck off!
Get fucked!
Get the fuck over on the other side of the fence, you whore!
So how would you describe relations with your neighbours in this street?
Poor.
Right.
Yes, just a moment. I just need to check on what's happening in here. That's okay. That'll take another 5 hours.
And what about you, Anne? What sort of music do you enjoy?
Oh, I don't like music.
Right.
No, I don't play any, do I, Tony? Do I? I don't play any music.
Right.
I don't play. I don't bother. He doesn't like me listening to it, do you? You'd prefer you wouldn't like it.
Obviously, this is the 1970s, so this is a time of extraordinary breakthroughs in spiritual and moral matters. How would you say the moral temperature of Australia at the moment affects you?
Tony, it's Como in Perth. I don't think there's much change in the moral fabric around here. It's just very hot, you know.
Right.
It's just hot all the time.
Things are progressing very quickly in terms of promiscuity and obviously gay rights, things like that. Do you feel like society's values are still something that you can have respect for?
Well,
He's talking about homosexuals, Tony. You know how you feel about that. I don't mind them myself.
No.
You know, live and let live. But Tony can't stand them. He thinks they should all be murdered.
Oh, murdered. Right.
Yes.
That's
strung up and hung, shot, stabbed,
And then whipped.
and then cat o' nine tails.
That does.
And moulded them into cheese.
Aye.
Why not?
I have to say that does seem rather extreme.
Well, we'll cut out the cat o' nine tails.
But your daughter, Judith, what sort of moral and spiritual guidance do you provide her with?
Well, she goes to Mass every Sunday like I do, and she goes to religious school. She goes to a Catholic school, Santa Maria Ladies' College. And I believe they do a good job there of, you know, teaching them what's right and what to look out for,
Right.
you know, with the men folk and so on.
But what sort of advice have you personally passed on to her?
Well, you know, I prefer a belt.
Yes, well, we're trying to introduce her to all the facets of spirituality and humanity.
What rat? She just comes to Mass with us every Sunday, and we send her to a Catholic school. Well, we don't introduce to all facets of spirituality. That wouldn't be right. Don't talk such rot, Tony.
Drop dead.
Go fuck yourself.
Fuck off!
What sort of advice would you like to offer our viewers here today?
Well, just keep busy, you know. Why think about everything all of the time when you could just, you know, occupy your mind? Otherwise, you could just go mad. You know what I mean? I mean, just go to Mass and believe and do the right thing, but then just keep yourself busy. That's what I do. Keep yourself very busy. And slim. Keep yourself slim. And run around a lot when I'm not in the toilet. Who invited you here anyway?
You've signed a release form. You're part of the document.
I don't care what I signed.
Right.
Sign my ass and fuck off. Don't know what happened to my accent there.
Sign my ass!